Welcome again to Faith Until We Make It. My name is DR.AyieraJR. So, for the new subscribers, how you doing? How you feeling? Stay in the business and welcome to the community. And for the people that have not subscribed yet, why have you not subscribed? We are growing the biggest community of entrepreneurs, so stay in the community again and subscribe to this YouTube channel and follow me on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, DR.AyieraJR.
Check the scoreboard, yeah.
You need to look the part. You need to look the entrepreneur. You need to look good.
But I will. You got me set for life. Angels in heaven.
Nobody talks about the faith that you need before you start seeing the results.
You got me set for life.
Welcome to Faith Until We Make It.
This is the 4th episode, and today we will talk about the habits that make you stay in business. And I'll be breaking down the habits for you so that you can stay in business as you're growing this business of yours or you're growing your idea in business. So welcome on board, subscribe. The first habit that will keep you in business as an entrepreneur is, first of all, protecting your cash like oxygen. And how do you protect your cash like oxygen? First of all, is you have a weekly review on the money that you're getting in and the money that you are getting out. For example, for me, every week, I get to sit down with myself because I'm the CEO and the finance person and the accounts person and see how much money did we make in this week that will help us maybe prepare for the payroll, prepare for all those things. And another thing is you need to understand your payroll dates. When is money supposed to go out to the employees? Unafaa kuwalipa lini? Unafaa kuwapatia mishahara zao lini? So it is important that you check through the payroll dates as well so that you have a know-how on when money is going out. Another thing is you need to separate your business money from your personal finances. And another thing that you need to do is cutting ego expense. So talking about separating personal money from business money. The way I do it, though, when I started business, is I used to put the money together. Yote, yangu ya kukula, yangu ya kutumia kwa nyumba, yangu ya kulipa watu, yangu ya kulipa. And I am a spendthrift, by the way. So when money was coming in, mimi nimeshakula pesa yote. Alafu what happens is I do not have money to pay people when it comes to payroll scenarios. For example, another example that I'm going to give you is I have a client. Turkish Airlines is my client. I work with Turkish Airlines. So when we are working with Turkish Airlines pays you 6 months prior before you do the work. So ukipatiwa pesa 6 months prior, unapatiwa in millions. Alafu sasa hapo ndo utanunua gari, ndo utanunua. The first time I was given that money, let me tell you, I went and picked the entire money and put it into a house. For the people that have listened to me before, I've talked, I have a house. Yes, I put it into buying a house. I bought a house. Guess what? I suffered for the next 6 months thinking, ninatoa wapi pesa ya kulipa wase, ninatoa wapi pesa ya do expenses in the whatever. So it is important when you are a business person, the first habit that will keep you in business is protecting your cash flow. And while we're talking about faith until we make it, when you are protecting your cash flow, it is important that you note that you do not ignore the costs that come around. You do not ignore your finances and operate on faith. You look at your finances, you plan on your finances on a weekly basis. Majorly, do it on a weekly basis. Don't wait for the month. Plan your finances on a weekly basis. Once you've planned your finances on a weekly basis, it becomes easy. When payroll comes around, you are paying your people on time. You are paying other service providers on time. You're paying your vendors on time. You have all the miscellaneous money in check on time. So it is important. Habit number 1 that will keep you in business is you protect your cash flow like oxygen. And faith does not tell us to use the money in a reckless way. In faith, we first of all check our finances and we become faithful as we move by. You need to follow up on your money. Apart from following up on your money, follow up on your invoices, follow up on your leads, follow up on cash that is sat. So where does money sit most of the time when you are in business? It sits on the unpaid invoices. It sits on the unfollowed proposals. It sits on the unfollowed leads. First of all, you need to create a habit on following up on leads, following up on the proposals, and following up on the the invoices. So things that I've been telling people that follow me, and I've been talking about it on TikTok majorly, that's what I talk about, is we create a leads list as CEOs or as people that are in business. And once you create a leads list, it's follow up on everyday basis. Fuata, wa call, wa text, waulize, what are you doing today? Can I help you with this? Can I help you with this? Do you need any other information? So once you follow up on those leads, those are the leads that convert to be your, to be your clients. And another thing is you need to follow up to the point where they say either yes or no. So follow up on the leads. Once you followed up on the leads, follow up on the proposal that you've made. Ukisha wafuata, follow up on the proposal. You said you're gonna work on this. Alafu uta follow up on the timelines that they have to respond. Like, I would like your response within maybe a month or something like that. Then follow up on the invoices. If you do not follow up on the invoices, that is where your money will sit. And once your money is sat, as a business person, you cannot continue. So it is important to create a habit of following up. And as we're talking about faith until we make it, is we do not survive on faith in business as much as we're talking about faith until we make it. Is we put in faith and we follow up on the invoices, follow up on the proposals, follow up on the leads until we get a yes or no. So if you create that habit, you will definitely stay in business. Consistency. Please market yourself even when you are tired. Consistency builds stability. Mi sijui ni watu wangapi wanaochingi YouTube channel yangu, lakini niko hapa kila siku Damster, tunaenda kushoot lini, tunaenda kufanya nini, I don't know how many people watch, but I'm building consistency with myself. And in business, for you to stay in business, is you need to be very consistent. Even when the engagement is low, I don't know how many people watch, as I mentioned, nimeona episode nyingine watu 30, episode nyingine nimeona watu 10, BTS nyingine nimeona watu 2, and it's fine. Even when engagement is low in business, you need to be very consistent in marketing yourself. I like a few people that market themselves, like Rakeli or Wigs. If you know Rakeli, she's from TikTok. There are people that keep marketing themselves every day. Any namka, even nikiscroll, ni yeye. The more people understand or see you, that is when they will get to understand the kind of business that you do and probably stay in that business for quite some time. Sometimes you will feel embarrassed. When the engagement is low, una feel, jamani, hata kuna mtu ana watch vitu zangu. Jamani, hata kuna mtu ananunua. Jamani, hata kuna mtu mwenye. It is very normal in business and we have low months. So it is important that you stay very, 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 very consistent, especially in marketing yourself. Once you learn on how to market yourself and staying consistent, it is a habit that will keep you in business. The first few months will be tough, but as you go by, it will be easier for you. It will be very, very easy for you to get to the point of where you are staying in business, because now the more you market yourself, the more the cash flow, the more the leads, the more the proposals, the more all those things, and money is what makes us stay in business, and consistency is the thing that you need. When I started out, I did not have standard operating procedures, and that costed me big time. Employees walikuwa wanakuja, I do not know how to onboard them. Clients wanakuja, I do not know how to onboard them. Habit number 5 that will keep you in business is building systems. Systems will really come in handy in terms of come up with standard operating procedures. Come up with a delegation process. Document everything that you are working with. You cannot stay in business if you do not know how to make good business decisions. And good business decisions comes from having proper operational features or proper operational processes. So one of my clients, I really like this client a lot. One of my clients kept telling me, for you to stay in business, unahitaji operations, unahitaji proper working systems, unahitaji hizo vitu zote. Na mimi nilikuwa nashangaa, kwani how do I come up with operations? And he gave me an opportunity to see how his business works. So on a monthly basis, we have meetings to discuss on the employees. Apart from discussing on the employees, on a quarterly basis, we have performance reviews. On an yearly basis, we have what have we achieved? What is our projection? Where are we headed to in this manner? So it is important you build systems as a business person that will help you, first of all, delegate, that will help you document every scenario, that will help you stay in business. So come up with operation processes, come up with standard operating procedures, come up with documentation, come up with everything else that will help you stay in business. So, as we are talking about faith until we make it, we are not working blindly. We are working towards having proper operational systems that will help us stay in business, that will help us know how to delegate, that will help us know how to document, and that will help us know how to even onboard our clients, onboard our employees, onboard everything else that we are required to do. So, habit number 6 that will help you stay in business is have a weekly meeting. So for me, the way I do it is on a weekly basis. I get to sit down with myself. I do it majorly on Fridays. As you all know, my employees do not work on Fridays. So what happens is I get to have time for myself, have a sit down with myself, and ask myself, what worked this week? What can I eliminate? What habit have I carried this week that is gonna bring my business down? And what needs fixing? And what made me money this week? So those are some of the questions that I keep asking myself on a weekly basis. So I have a program or an Excel sheet that I write down everything, that this is what made me money this week. For example, did I onboard a new course? For example, did I onboard a new client? Do I have leads that I'm following up? What made really money? Or what is my projection of money for this particular month, this particular quarter, but I do it on a weekly basis. Then I look at the processes on a weekly basis. What can I eliminate? For example, some of the things that I've started eliminating is with AI. There is so many things that are happening. You can eliminate or you can automate a lot of things in this scenario. So once you have that weekly, you can do it like me on a weekly basis. You sit down, talk about the things that you fixed, you can eliminate, you can all do all those things. Once you do that, it becomes easier for you to come up with operational processes that will help you, and so that you can know where am I getting money from and stay consistent on the thing that are making you money. If something is working at this particular point of your journey, it is important that you do not eliminate it or you do not try to change it. There's a reason that that thing is working. It is not by luck that things are working out. So sit, have a weekly meeting. What are the things that I'm fixing? What are the things that I'm eliminating? What are the things that I'm gonna work on? What are all those things? So the reason why we do that is in this journey we talk about faith until we make it. And in faith, we are not working blindly as entrepreneurs. Faith requires you to have a know-how on the things that you're fixing, things that you're eliminating, things that you are working on, so that it is easier as you are being faithful in your journey. It becomes easier to move forward. So number 6 habit, it is sit down with yourself on a weekly basis. Once you sit down on a weekly basis, look at the processes. What am I fixing? What am I eliminating? What am I working towards? What thing gave me money? What am I staying consistent on? What am I adding on? It is very important that you do that on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis or on a quarterly basis, but it's easier to build on something when you're doing it on a weekly basis. You can say Sundays are for me, Saturdays are for me, or Fridays are for me, or even Mondays are for me to just sit down with myself, look at the operational processes and work around it. So in this journey we talk about faith, it is important that you sit down with yourself and continue working on the processes that are working and the ones that are not working so that you can stay in business. Last habits. I've talked about 6 habits. So this is the last habit that will keep you stay in business. As a CEO or as an entrepreneur, remember you are the business at all times. Without you, your company cannot continue running. Without you, there are so many things that cannot work. It is important that you guard your mind a lot. Before I had my assistant, Ashley, I was the one that was picking all the phone calls. I was the one that was replying to every message. I was the one that was doing all the operational processes. And what ended up happening is I was getting burned out a lot. Burned out. Yani, nina work siku mbili, siku nne niko sijui niko mgonjwa. You know, when your body is communicating about burnout, it can give you a continuous headache. It can give you scenarios that you do not understand. So I kept getting a lot of burnout. And when you're getting burnout, is you're not seeing the processes work, is you're not seeing things work. So just remember that you are the brain behind the business. You are the owner of that particular business. It is important that you guard your mind. And how do you guard your mind? Have days off where you are not working, you're not doing anything. As one of my friends said, the present is the present. Be in the present. Do nothing. Amka na useme ninakaa. Kwani what's the worst that can happen? Do nothing. And sit to rejuvenate your mind. And once you rejuvenate your mind, it becomes easier for you to even look at the processes, talk well to your employees, determine on your leads, do proposals, get to meet other people, and you do that by delegating the work. Remember, you're the business owner, you are the CEO, you are everything that the business requires. It is important that you guard your mind, and you guard your mind from burnout, you guard your mind from all those things. And the reason why you guard your mind is because you are the business. Without you, there is nothing that you will be working towards. You are the business. You need to stay in business. You need to be healthy to stay in business. So it is important to guard yourself. And when we are talking about faith until we make it, is we are not blindly burning ourselves out. We are working towards processes that will help us stay in business. So we've been talking about habits that keep us in business. And what we've learned is we do not stay in business because we are lucky. We stay in business because we are disciplined, and discipline is faith in action. So thank you so much for listening in, and thank you for subscribing. I do really appreciate you. So we will meet again next week on Monday talking about different things. I wouldn't know what the episode is going to be talking about, but please share this message to your friends that are starting out or to other entrepreneurs. Subscribe. Follow me on my TikTok channel, on my Instagram, and on my Facebook page, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I want to see you here on Monday, and follow us on every platform. And please, mbona mjajoin community by the way? Kwa community ndo mtaniambia mnataka niongelee nini, niwapatie story gani, niwapatie story nikianza out, nikilia, nikifanya nini. I will give you those stories in the community, and it will be easier to know what you want to listen to from the community. So follow, join the community, subscribe, and follow me on all the platforms that I am on. My name is DR.AyieraJR.
Check the scoreboard, yeah.
You need to look the part. You need to look the entrepreneur. You need to look good.
But I will. You got me set for life. Angels in heaven. Bringing the light to the night.
Nobody talks about the faith that you need before you start seeing the results.
You got me set for life.
Welcome to Faith, until we make it.